and now. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks. With the ball in the air, secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Go defense, defense, go defense, defense, gone defense, defense, clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas doomsday defense. Listen what the hot boys tell them, man. Defense, put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat, yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat, yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat, yeah, we all eating. Clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunt. LVE, tackling Dutchman coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods, plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds, the hot boys shining. Clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in. D, yeah, it's time to go to work. Top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work. Clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas. We got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work. Clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks. With the ball in the air, secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. the world. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas doomsday. Time to go to work. Listen what the hot boys tell them, man. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Down clock in, clock in, clock in, down clock in, clock in, clock in, down clock in, clock in, clock in, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. You see the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchman coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods, plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds, the hot boys shining. Clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D.
Thank you for watching West Coast. This is Antoine Woods.
Thanks for watching West Coast. Go Cowboys.
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us at Dallas Cowboy Scout.
Appreciate it.
My man West Coast from this buck.
Thank you for watching West Coast.
Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
Did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, man. And I know you guys are all waking up in a funk because I woke up one in myself. But we got to talk about it. It's here. It's the day after pill, man. Man, it's just all about us getting this thing through. And then you know what? We got 10 days to prepare for these LA Rams that's going to be coming out there to Dallas. And more importantly, our offense has 10 days to prepare for Wade Phillips. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, the Dallas Cowboys offenses have not fared well against Wade Phillips here lately. So remember, he played for Denver. He played for the Rams. I mean, he was with the Rams last year. He was with Denver. You know, our offenses haven't played well against him. So, you know, we got to make sure that we take this opportunity. So, you know, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I don't want to come off like a super stan or anything, but I know this, man. This team at some point is going to, I feel like at some point the Dallas Cowboys are going to take advantage of their opportunities. And once they take advantage of these opportunities that are there, it's going to result in some wins. But there are some fundamental things that we need to understand that are happening with our Dallas Cowboys. Let me get this turned down a little bit. And one is our need for a D tackle is just overly ridiculous now. I know we went all in with Michael Bennett, who I think is a great guy. Dang, I'm supposed to be up on Instagram. My bad. I'll get it. Where my little thing at? Over here. I know we brought in Michael Bennett, who I know everybody fell in love with really quickly. He's a good guy. But at the same time, West Coast was preaching that we needed someone like that kid from the Jets. Why? Because of how big he was in his size. And with that size, you'd be able to stop this gut. Like, basically, they gut checking us. And every time they gut check us, we fall over. Because when you get hit in the gut, you know what you do? Anybody got hit in the gut? When you get hit in the gut, what your body do? It lean right to the front. And guess what it do? Lean that head over and they bio bumper. Bow! Your whole head just explode. And that's what's happening to your Dallas Cowboys right now. They're getting gut checked right up the middle. The exact same problem. You know, for all my folks that's been riding with me for, for my folks that's been riding with me for a minute, for that Rams game, I said like, yo, man, the number one thing I hate about this Rams game is it put out legitimate tape on how to beat the Dallas Cowboys. And I think that every team since then, any team that's worth the lick, that wants to understand or know how to beat the Dallas Cowboys, they watch that film. How to Beat the Dallas Cowboys for Dummies. And on that film, it tells you this. Put the Cowboys in unmanageable third downs. Put the Cowboys in positions where they have to abandon their strength, which is the run. Try to score as often, not even try to score as often as possible, but limit their ability to score, and most importantly, run up the middle. Once you do those things to the Dallas Cowboys, I'm going to be honest with you, it's pretty much, it's about how fast or how much time is left on the clock. Because with Dak Prescott's always going to give you an opportunity. Now, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Your quarterback didn't have the best game last night. Had some situations where I think he could have did a little bit better. But I'm going to be honest with you, in the game of numbers, Dak Prescott has played more games where he was the focal point on why we were even in the game, or he was the focal point on why we were able to get back in a game. So I'm not saying I can give him a game, but I'm going to be honest with you. I understand that there's no Jesus Christos out there. That means there's nobody out there that can be perfect on every single game. So with that, I'm okay with giving my quarterback, I'm okay with giving him a game, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Because for the most part, man, your quarterback's been playing ice water, man. Like, he's been playing ice water. Now, I think a huge, you had freaking Raekwon Smith go down early, which I thought was definitely going to be it was going to be something that was going to be able to help us, but I'm going to keep it real. The guy who came in after Raekwon, I forget his name, and he just dominated. He had dominated Xavier. He just dominated him. And to be honest with you, I mean, the Dallas Cowboys, a lot of these problems that we had last year, we did not either fix them in the regular season by putting a veteran in there, or we're going all in situation where we drafted a kid and he's not really good. So either way, you didn't really secure yourself. So guy goes down. You know what happens to the Dallas Cowboys? We go scrambling. We have Xavier Sulafule back there. I don't get why Joe Looney hasn't gotten an opportunity. Like, I don't get it. And I know a lot of you guys are saying, oh, this offensive line is playing well. Why? Because your quarterback's not getting sacked? Come on now. I know you guys can see pressure. Like, I know you can see pressure. Like, I know y'all can see pressure. Because I can see pressure. So, with that, man, I'm looking at this situation, man, and there's a couple things I want to start off with, man. A couple things before we even get into the game, and before we get into, like, because there's just, first off, I'm a little upset with the folks that's going off of my boy Jalen Smith, man. My boy Jalen Smith balled out last night. Now, I can't control anything else. He can't control anything else from what he can control. And I'm going to be honest with you, from everything that Jalen Smith was able to do, man, he controlled from what he controlled. And I'm going to tell you, it was a nuts call to go after the same person on 3 consecutive downs. And I'm going to be honest with you, if it doesn't work, you're almost looking at the damn, the Bears coach like, what are you doing? Like, he literally went after the exact same player in 3, and think about this. Out of 3 chances, he got him 1 time for the touchdown. And I don't even really consider him getting it because Jalen Smith caught the ball with him the same time he caught the ball. So it's like this tide goes to the runner baseball situation. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, for the most part, my linebacker, my Mike linebacker, my dreadhead, my boy balled, man. And shout out to the kid, man. He going to be with West Coast this Saturday, man. We're going to be there for the Rams game, man. And, hey, man, I'm still bringing the noise, man. I know y'all was like, man, West Coast, you need to give it up, man. I'm not. I can't do it, man. Can't do it. I can't stop. All right. Let's talk about something else we got to do. Talk about something else. On that defense, I will say this, man. My boy, Xavier. Like, I want to know where all my Xavier Sulafules, not Xavier Fulafule, my boy Xavier Woods, because both X-Men didn't have a good game at all. At all, neither one. Where are all my we don't need to draft a safety because Xavier is gonna do that. Where are all those guys at? When me and Boss Cowboy was screaming that size matters. That's what she said. The only time size don't matter is when love is involved. Any other time, size matters. That's why they say everything's bigger in Texas. I mean, that's what they say. But I'm going to tell y'all like this. I love Xavier's Woods' effort. I love it. But the exact same thing I was saying last year when I used to show that Rams play over and over when Todd Gurley just gutted him and just took him straight to the house in the playoffs. And then I didn't even talk about that Hopkins play from last year too that I kept playing over and over last year. But I said last year, if you are going to be undersized, your angles and the way you come up to the point of attack has to be dang near flawless. Hey, Instagram, I'm gonna have to switch on my other phone because my phone about to die. The way you come up on receivers and guys breaking out the backfield has to be flawless. You want to know why? Because you are undersized. And since you're undersized, you got to make sure that you can't miss. Because I'm going to tell you like this. Sometimes when Xavier Woods miss tackles, it's not even that he missed tackles. It's just that he can't contain the tackle. He can't contain it. Like last night, we literally saw a guy just run through him. Like, just ran right through him. Just ran right through him. Like, I don't get it. And then you remember, like my boy Boss Cowboy say, man, we had a slew of safeties that came through here that we could have tried out. We didn't give any of them opportunity. My only issue with the Dallas Cowboys is, like, I don't mind having problems, but I don't like having repeat offenders. And my thing is this, you have repeat offenders, guys, and there was opportunities for you to look at guys that were better, and you have guys who were repeat offenders then who are still doing the exact same thing that they're doing right now. So you know what that lets me know? That there is a disconnect between coaching and them. Or there's a disconnect between them and coaching. But I'm going to tell you this. Somebody in our DB's job is not doing their job. So you either have a choice that you need to make Dallas Cowboys in the offseason. You're going to have to either adjust the coach or you're going to have to adjust the DBs. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Byron Jones, bruh. I ain't even about to go in. I'm not about to do that on Byron Jones. Y'all saw it. If you watched the game, y'all saw it. Did not have a good game at all. Only person that played well was who? Jordan Lewis. I know. I don't do the I already told you so's because, I mean, Jordan Lewis, it's to the point now where everybody's like, hey, West Coast, I remember West Coast, they was playing, and I said, they need to play Jordan Lewis. Man, you ain't say that. Did you make a video? You didn't make no video, though. But I'm just saying, man, your best corner is Jordan Lewis. No, the whole secondary is not trash. Your best corner, your best secondary is Jordan Lewis. And I'm going to tell you this right now, man. But, man, like, this is one of them games, like this Rams game is, like, so freaking important that everything that I want to talk about has to do with us either talking about this offense about to play Wade Phillips, a guy who has basically had our number. Like, I don't know when was the last time we beat Wade Phillips. I'm about to look it up. Can someone look that up? Can someone help me with some homework? When was the last time the defense beat a Wade Phillips defense? Please let me know. Because I know we didn't beat him when he played for the Rams. And I know we didn't beat him when they played for Denver. So, I need to know. Somebody want to let me know for a scout cookie? Let me know. When was the last time the Dallas Cowboys beat a Wade Phillips defense? Yeah, it's like that, Daddy-O. All right, so something else. We both Xaviers didn't have a good game. Period. They just need to take that film and trash it. Let me think. My linebackers, Jalen Smith balled, like I said. So much of everything that's going on with the defense right now is the defensive line. Like, think of this. I said about 2 months ago, we needed to go get a big, nasty defensive tackle. And shout out to everybody who believed and shared the video, because you guys shared the hell out that video. So that means that you knew that we needed a defensive tackle too. Like, I can't even take the credit all. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just be the first person to say it, but it takes y'all love and y'all support by sharing the videos to be like, yeah, maybe I am telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? So that means you believed it too. So shout out to you for believing it. But yeah, man, like, we all knew that we needed a big, fast, nasty defensive tackle. Because I'm going to tell you what's happening is Jalen Smith is taking on guards and tackles. Fun fact, did you know that a guard and a tackle outweighs him by at least 20 pounds coming downhill? So that's a rhinoceros on a goddamn, I don't even want to call him a cheetah because he's bigger than a cheetah, but that's a rhinoceros on a lion. And as much as that lion sound good, I'm sorry, a rhinoceros coming downhill, that lion ain't got no chance. Now, he ain't got no chance in the world. And you know what they're doing? They're getting moved. That's why your linebackers don't look, they don't look explosive because, bruh, they're taking on contact. Last year, when you had Antoine Woods healthy, when you had Tyron Crawford healthy, you know what I'm saying? When you had those guys, you don't have those dudes right now. When you had those dudes healthy and playing well last year, guess what? Jalen Smith was taking on running backs. And you know what he was doing? Knocking them out. He was taking on quarterbacks when they leaked out. That's the part of the reason why he was able to hit Eli so hard is because the defensive tackle took out the blocker. So that led Eli Manning running by himself. And he was like, oh my God! Wow! Fly on the wall. Straight fly on the wall, D. What's the matter, D? So, if you want to know what's happening to your linebackers, I told you guys, there is a huge, it's just like a dam. It's like a huge Hoover Dam, right? Imagine a Hoover Dam, and you have this crack in that mug. And you know what's happening? That crack was real small, and then it got bigger, and then it got bigger. Now that mug big as hell. And you know what they said? We're going to stick Tristan Hill's head in that hole. That's what we'll do. We'll plug it up with Tristan Hill. You know what I'm saying? We'll plug it up with Tristan Hill. Well, guess what? Tristan Hill didn't work. So you know what happens? That plug, that Band-Aid that you use, is not there. Oh, we'll plug it with Antoine Woods. Antoine Woods can't play. Why? Because he's hurt. Okay, we'll plug it with Tyrone Crawford. Well, Tyrone Crawford's out for the season. We'll plug it with Michael Bennett. That sounds good, but Michael Bennett is only half the size of the hole. So guess what? He's plugging the hole, but there's still water getting out on the sides. And you know what that water's doing? It's washing your linebackers out. Whoop. Washing them out. Whoop. And then LVE's hurt. So then you have Joe Thomas in there, who he's a good linebacker, but he's the inferior linebacker to LVE. That's real. That's not nothing hater to say. So your linebackers are getting killed, and then if your linebackers are getting killed, man, there is no hope for your safeties. You might as well just put another linebacker back there. Like on obvious run plays, you just put another linebacker. Take Woods off the field and put another linebacker back there. Why? Because I would rather have a linebacker running downhill versus having a freaking a goddamn a safety running downhill. You know what I'm saying? I see a very interesting. He said D-line wasn't the problem, brother. You was not watching that game then. You was not watching that game. The first job of the defense is the D-line is to stop the first attack. You know what I'm saying? If you have guards still pulling to your linebackers, then that lets me know that your D-line is not doing the job. Jalen Smith had 14 tackles last week. I don't know how many he had this week, but he was all over the place. So yeah, man. I definitely believe that D-line could have played a lot better. Something else that's just to me. Why is Jason Witten still on the field? Like, I'm going to give y'all a minute to share. 1, 2, 3, share. Everybody share. I'm about to drink some of this juice. Why is Jason Witten still on the field? All right. It's 3rd and 22 because of a penalty. Now, I want to get you guys a question. A 3-step drop means that a quarterback is going to take 1 step back, 2 step back, 3 step back. Look for the ball. Look for the ball to come out. That means you have 1 second, 2 second, 3 second. 3rd and 22. That means you need how many yards? That means you need 23 yards. Can I ask you guys a real question? How long do you think it takes Jason Witten to run 23 yards? Do you think it takes him 1 second, 2 second, 3 second? Or do you think it takes him 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 second? The point I'm trying to make is this. You have Jason Witten on the field on 3rd and 22, and you need 23 yards, and it takes him at least 4 to 5 seconds to get that far. How do you even expect for him to be an available option on that play? I don't know. So you know what I did defense do? This is what I did defense do. It's like if I saw Shaq coming down, about to pull up for the 3. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull back. I'm not about to run up and try to block Shaq from shooting a 3. You want to know why? Because Shaq can't even shoot free throws. So I know for damn sure he can't shoot no 3-pointer. So, my thing is this. If you want to use Jason Witten, which I'm all fine for, you need to know when to use him. And the fact that you're using Jason Witten on 3rd and 22 and you need 23 yards and it takes him at least 4 seconds. But Dak is only dropping back for 3 seconds. And there's pressure in his face. So he really only dropped back like 2.5. So think about this. You only got 2.5 seconds now, and you're not even turning around looking for the ball until another 4 seconds. You know what that means? As a defensive player, you're a useless player on the field, and I'm not even going to guard you. So you know what that means I'm going to do? I'm going to double down on Amari Cooper, or I'm going to double down on Michael Gallup. That's what that means. So you know what you did? Just by keeping him on the field, you made it harder for everybody around him. Want to know why? Because they know he's not getting the ball. They know he's not getting the ball. So the defense looks at it as like, yo, they need 22 yards. Jason Witten's not getting the ball. Why? Because he's not, bro, we're not about to let him run no down the field. And by the time he get down there, if the ball gets down there, somebody will see it. You know what I'm saying? No, we're going to talk about Jason Witten, and we're going to talk about Alawaze too. He's next. Don't trip. They're all going to get this. Nobody's exempt. It's a team effort. You know what I'm saying? That entitlement of don't talk about people because they're above this is the reason why we're 6 and 7. No. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Jason Witten needs to come off the field. Period. Like, I don't get why. Another thing that I understand too is why the heck it took us all the way until the 9-minute mark in the fourth quarter to go 5 wide. Like, we didn't go 5 wide until like 9 something. We're down 17 the second time. We were down 17 the first time and hadn't even gone 5 wide. I'm like, what are we doing? How are we down 17 and we're still running our base offense? Like, we don't have like a sheet that says, okay, when you're up 10, when you're down 10. Like, there needs to be a different play sheet when you're up 10 and you're down 10. For all my Madden players, y'all know when you're down 10, there's a certain formation you ain't even going to. Nope, can't do that. Nope, I ain't got time for that today. My boy Scratch says the only reason I think they're playing Witten is to break Dez's TD record, and I absolutely agree. Throw up the X. That's Jason. That's my take on Jason Witten. Jason Witten has to come off the field. Like, our offense is slower with him. He has to come off the field, man. Like, there's no reason for him to be on the field. Like, and then the thing about it is, Jason Witten, you drop just as many passes as everybody else. So right now, there's really no advantages. You know what I'm saying? Like, and in the red zone, yes, I'll put Jason Witten on the field. When I need to go 7 yards or 4 yards, and I'm going to throw the ball in the end zone, yeah, I'll put you on the field then. But other than that, no. Because right now, it's what have you done for me lately? Ooh, yeah. And I'm going to just keep it real with you, Jason Witten. You out here playing because you want to play. I got youngsters out here playing because they need to feed their families. Like, you tripping, bruh. Like, I got youngsters out here that's about to not make this team because you want to run around here looking young. And I can't have it no more. So it is what it is, bruh. You got to go sit down. I love you, though. You got to go sit down, though. Because this offense is slower because of you. Not because of you, but you being on the field, it takes away from what this offense can do. We need that other wide receiver. We need that other guy that can get downfield. Especially when you're Fredericks, and I'm going to be honest with you, man. I honestly think that, I'm not going to say that Fredericks shouldn't be playing, but I say it like this. I want to see Joe Looney so bad. Because, man, Fredericks ain't giving up sacks, but he ain't helping much either. And y'all don't want to hear it, and you can disagree, but the only thing I'm going to say is send me the film. Because I will inbox you the film. Like, Fredericks is not Fredericks. Like, he's playing, and I'm going to tell you guys this. Fredericks is still better than most centers in the NFL. But he's still not playing as good as he needs to be, and that's just being real. So you encompass that with Xavier right beside him, and then you have Amari Cooper, who is not himself, and the reason why I know he's not himself is because of the targets, man. You know what I'm saying? That's because of the targets. I know Amari Cooper. I have nothing to say about Amari Cooper because I know if he was able to go, he'd go. And to be honest with you, the fact that they didn't even really target him at the beginning of the game lets me know that they were really saving him toward the end, which lets me know that they feel that there's something not wrong. We've always known about that. Since West Coast first reported it at training camp that he went down at practice. We've known since then that there was something wrong with Amari Cooper. But his targets and when he's getting targets lets me know that the Dallas Cowboys know it too because they were trying to save him. They were trying to win this game with him just running up and down the field. Like, that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to win this game without having Cooper having to exert a ridiculous amount of energy. That's what they were trying to do. So, and guess what? In the third quarter, we was like, F that, Cooper, you got to play, man. I know you just running around in circles, but I need you to actually go out there and catch some balls. So, that's my take on that. Y'all want to talk about this kicker? I know y'all want to talk about this kicker. Talk about this kicker for a little bit. This is my thing on Brett Maher. I think Brett Maher is shook. I think his confidence is shook. I think he's an average kicker. And I think an average kicker in the situations that we are in We need someone who's above average. And to be honest with you, we don't even really need someone that has a high percentage of kicks. We just need a guy who's kicked big kicks in big games. Like, I wouldn't even be mad if we went and got one of these old veteran kickers off the floor, off the field, somewhere, and gave him an opportunity. He may not have the leg, but have you kicked game winners before? Okay, then you can be our kicker. Because I think between the Brett Mayer just not kicking well, then the Dallas Cowboys bringing 3 kickers in there, and you're going to tell me out of 3 kickers, you didn't like one guy that was better than him? And I'm going to tell you this too. Whoever the guy is, whose job it is to find kickers for the Dallas Cowboys, needs to be fired. And the reason why he needs to be fired is this. If you're telling me you are a talent scout and you can't find a better kicker, that means you can't find me a better wide receiver, linebacker. You'll never be able to do that. If you don't have an eye to see, okay, that guy's a good kicker, that guy's not, I can never trust you to scout quarterbacks or live wide receivers or running backs, people who actually get paid. I can never trust that person to do that. So I'm going to keep it real with you right now. Brett Mayer need to go, and whoever's scouting talent as far as looking for kickers need to go too. Because if you can't find a kicker, like, that's beyond me. There's so many available kickers out there now. Obviously, I don't want to release my kicker just for some guy. But, I mean, you're going to tell me you can't find a kicker out there that can at least make you feel as confident as you are right now in Brett Mayer? I mean, and the fact that the Dallas Cowboys didn't even bring in anybody in training camp lets me know that guess what they were trying to do? They were hoping that Brett Mayer will get better. So my question is this. When does hope run out? Like, when does hope run out? Because they didn't bring in anybody. Like, an exact same thing with Dak Prescott. 2018. 2018 was not Dak Prescott's best year. And you know what they did? They didn't bring in really anybody to challenge Dak, right? And they just said, we're going to put our faith in you. And guess what? Dak, for the most part, has come through for him. Like, he's come through for him. And they did that exact same thing for Brett Mayer. And guess what? It's not working out. It's not working out. Now, my thing with the Dallas Cowboys is this too. Like, there's 10 days in this week before we got to play the Lions next week. I mean, I would think the Dallas Cowboys would be doing their due diligence, man, and trying to bring in a new kicker every day. Like, sometimes you'll find your answer by sheer deduction. That means you bring in 1,000 every day. I'm gonna bring in 15 kickers, and every day I'm gonna look at a new kicker, and every day we just gonna have a tournament or something. But you got to show your team that, you know, you're not going to settle for a guy just going out there and kicking because, like, bro, that has to be deflating. Like, I can only imagine how this team feels about him. Like, I can only imagine. I mean, the Rams, not Lions. Shout out. They both animals. So, yeah, man. Cowboys, we definitely need to be looking into a new kicker. And, you know, let's look into, I mean, this week, I don't see why the Dallas Cowboys can't bring in more kickers. We brought in 3 last week. Like, just keep on bringing guys in until you find somebody. That's sports. That's professional sports. That's what you're supposed to be doing anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, that's on that. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I so badly want to turn the page on this game. Like, I so badly want to turn the page on this game. The offense came out really, really good. We came out pounding the ball, which was really good. Once their defense adjusted and realized what we were doing to them as far as breaking off, I mean, that middle was nasty. I mean, we basically stayed with the run, but I mean, there was just times that just execution just was not good. I mean, and also, like, another thing, like, I spoke about this, like, in must-win plays, why do we do trickery, like, or why do we do things that are brand new? Like, you have an important third down to convert to keep your offense on the field, and you throw a single individual play to Jamiz Alawale? Like, the last time you did that, he dropped the ball. Like, come on. Like, I don't get that. Like, we haven't seen him run that play all season, and you're going to do that on third down? Like, that type of stuff is what kind of irritates me about the Dallas Cowboys and our play calling. And that's not Jason Garrett. Like, that's not Jason Garrett. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you can't put that one on Jason Garrett. I mean, he just did not know where the ball was going. He didn't know. It's a wheel route, and he thinking he's taking the wheel route all the way up the field. He's going, I mean, that's not what the play was designed for. Like, he hadn't even turned his head. All he has to do is turn his head. Coming out the backfield, it's a first down. But guess what? That's what happens when you're not used to being on the field. But my question is this: why doesn't my offensive coordinator know that? And why would you run a single only? A single only play is a play where it's designed for him only to get the ball. Unless he trips or falls or something happens, he's going to get the ball coming out the backfield. Like, why would you limit? I don't even agree to single. Like, a good offense should never be running single only plays on third down. Why? Because why would you limit yourself to one player unless it's like Dez Bryant jumping up in the backfield, or like Antonio Brown, or running a slant right, or even Amari Cooper. But yo, you don't run a single only route to a fullback on third down? Horrible. Absolutely horrible. So, Dallas Cowboys, we got some stuff we got to fix. We got 10 days. We got a full 10 days before we play these like Dallas said, we got a full 10 days before we play these Rams. I keep calling them the Lions. Before we play these Rams. And I think the Dallas Cowboys, we need to take every opportunity so that we can beat these Rams. And so tomorrow, Saturday, actually this week, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna start watching these Rams tomorrow. I'm gonna watch one more day of these Bears, man. Mitchell Trubisky, we turned him into a running quarterback. Our defense has had a problem with running quarterbacks. We have a problem with just anybody running on us. You know what I'm saying? Jared Goff isn't a running quarterback, so that should favor in us. But I'm going to be honest with you, if pressure comes, Jared Goff will move. And remember that final play that sealed the game last year was a goddamn Jared Goff run play. We lost containment. He got outside on the right-hand side. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, we gotta definitely get this thing together, man. We had some guys out there individually that played well. I think your running back Ezekiel Elliott played well. I think he had the one miscue. But I mean, I think your running back played well last night. You know what I'm saying? I think for the most part, man, I think that kind of that pressure in his face, man. That pressure in his face. I like the way they got. I mean, there's like, man, I'm just so like back and forth in this game because there was a lot of points in this game that I really, really liked. And then there was parts of this game where I was just like, what the heck, man? Like, we started the game off getting Dak on the play action. Then we even did the play action boot where he ran out on the side and threw the ball. Like, that's when Dak was at his best, man. But you got to let this dude run, man. Like, you got to let him run, man. Like, there's so much of his game that we're losing by him not running the damn ball, man. Then our first drive out the gate, 17 plays, man. That's Cowboy football. Long, methodical drives. They didn't get the ball back until like 5 minutes into they didn't get the ball to the first time until 5 minutes in the first quarter. Like, that is Dallas Cowboy football. You know what I'm saying? Now, my last thing I'm going to touch on here before I get up out of here, man. I know there's a lot of people asking you like, yo, man, what's going to happen with the Dallas Cowboy head coach? And I'm going to tell you how it is. The Dallas Cowboys aren't going to fire Jason Garrett with 3 games left on the season. The reason being is because you don't have to fire him. If you have to fire him, you got to give him a settlement. Why would I fire him and there's only 3 more games in the season? And he don't even got a contract after this. I could just let him go. I just not sign him. Why would I fire him now and have to pay him a settlement? That makes no sense. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I've already paid. He's going to finish out this season. And if you want to re-sign him, you can just not re-sign him. Like, the Dallas Cowboys do not have to fire Jason Garrett at the end of the season because he won't have a contract. They just have to not re-sign him. That's it. Like, the Dallas Cowboys didn't fire Rod Smith. They just didn't give him a contract. His contract was up, and they said bye. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't think the Dallas Cowboys are going to make no change. I think it's going to stay exactly what it is. And to be honest with you, I'm okay with it because, man, Jason Garrett ain't the one out there missing tackles. You had at least my boy Ronnie Braxton, he did the film on it. But he said Xavier Woods, I know he missed a gang of tackles, but he said he had 7 missed tackles last night. 7 missed tackles. 7 missed tackles last night. I don't see why Donovan Wilson ain't getting no action either, man. My boy Thompson played well last night. Got the sack. Woods, Jordan Lewis played well last night. Like, man. John Juice says Cooper. See, everybody's mind's already on that Rams game. I know. I'm gonna start watching film on it tonight. Buddha says they don't make changes. We can change. Shara says maybe our kids will see the Cowboys win a championship because I don't know. Think it's gonna happen in my lifetime with Jerry and G running this organization. Man, we gonna be good. He says we haven't allowed a sack in 3-man rush. Not missing tackles, but your team tends to take on personalities of your coach, West Coast. Man, I don't believe that because y'all don't know the personality of the head coach. Man, that's what I be saying. A lot of this stuff be reach work. And you don't like Jason Garrett. So it's like, man, if you watch that game and the only thing you came out of it saying, we need to fire our head coach, like you didn't really watch that game. Like, bruh, there was stuff on that field physically that players did that coaches have no control over. No control over. Like, Jamiz, what are you doing? Freaking, what are you doing? Xavier Woods, what are you doing? Missing 7 tackles. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? I don't get that. I just don't get that. Like, and there needs to be stuff like, why don't we blitz? Why don't we? The only time we blitz is Jalen Smith. That's it. We do the safety blitz the safety of the cornerback blitz, but we don't ever do like the cover 0, everybody go get somebody, man up in 1. We're in the red zone and we're playing zone. My mom walks into the goddamn living room and she's like, why are they playing so far back? They already giving them up the first down. Like, I don't get that. They on the 12-yard line and your cornerbacks are on the 5. So that means all they got to do is throw a slant and 1 missed tackle and you're in his zone. Man, Courtney, you don't know Jason Garrett, so you can't make a statement about somebody's character about their being soft. You don't know that. You just speaking out. You just speaking. You don't know Jason Garrett personally. You don't know him that. So I know it makes you sound good when you call him, say stuff like that, but you don't know that person. So you can't say if someone is soft, and you can't say that someone takes on the personality of I don't believe in none of that. I play football. I'm around these players. I know how they feel about Jason Garrett, and that's not true. You know what I'm saying? So if it was true, I'd back it, but it's not true. Joe Trencher says, why don't we get rid of the players? Because you still need a team. Say, I'm gonna read a couple of these comments before I get up out of here, man. Benson says, I agree with the players didn't execute, but after 10 years, I think they move on from Garrett. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I think the Dallas Cowboys will move on from Jason Garrett? Absolutely. You want to know why? Because the fans are begging for it. That's why. And to be honest with you, it's like Jason Garrett, like if I was Jason Garrett, why would you want to be here unless you know what I'm saying? Unless you really take us far. But I mean, if I was Jason Garrett, I would have got my contract after last year. Why? Because we were 3-5 and took you two rounds into the playoffs. Bruh. Like, how much harder can it get? I would have got my contract last year. If I was Jason Garrett, he should have had some nuts and told tell Jerry Jones, well, look, you either going to give me a contract or let me walk. Like, you let him bend you over like that, Jason. And guess what? It backfired on you. Shara said that's the only reason. Donald says, I've been saying all this time we need to blitz more and we play way too soft. I agree with you. Randall said, the hell with everyone who ain't on the bus, including the field. Okay, got you, bro. Donald says, Coach, why was Jalen Smith playing so deep? The reason why he was playing so deep is because he was taking on tackles and guards. And because his defensive line was not getting any push up front. So that means that he was going to have to give himself enough room to be able to shed the block of the guard and then get to the guy who has the ball. So in able to do that, you got to step back. You got to take an extra step back so that you can see more of the field. I mean, you get what I'm saying? But if your defensive line is doing their job, then guess what? You don't have to do that. What you can do is what? You could leak up a little bit. Why? Because you know you have faith that your defensive line is going to take down that offensive guard, that offensive tackle. You know what I'm saying? So then all you got to do is take on the running back. But when you know you're going to be taking on guards and tackle the entire game, you're going to take a step back. Why? So you can see more. Reen says, yo, you know what about Jason Gary? He's a good coach. Curse, but no worries. I don't know what he said. Why fire Jason Gary? He don't call plays or nothing. I need an answer. Brian says, why is Donovan Wilson not playing? I have no clue. John says, we will be against it if Giants did it in 2011 with no talent. We can do it better with talent. Never look down because the star's up. Hey, man, on that note, I appreciate you on that one, brother. Hey, I'm out of here, man. You already know what it is, man. Never look down because the star's up. Peace.